What is up, family? To YouTube gang. Today I'm going to be doing part 1 of what if Usopp had the tremor fruit. So this is gonna be crazy. People are gonna be calling Usopp God Usopp because of his strength. We're gonna kind of skip Usopp to the 2-year time skip. Like this dude's looking like this. No, he's not gonna do the 2-year time skip. He's going to remain the same, and he's going to eat the devil fruit like right before they leave his hometown. Like literally right before they leave his hometown, he finds a fruit and he eats it. Luffy tells him, I think that Luffy would know that it's a devil fruit because of how it looks and how weird it's shaped. Or not Zoro, or Nami would probably tell him, and Usopp would keep it overnight, and Nami would tell him, how about you just keep the devil fruit in your room, so you can, like stuff like that. And Usopp has just been thinking about the devil fruit all night. Nami has had gotten from her room, and she's going to go take the devil fruit and eat it for herself. But then Usopp walks up to the devil fruit, and she picks it up, and then Nami opens his door as she sees Usopp munching and eating on the devil fruit. Nami then yells, "No, you damn fool! Why did you eat the devil fruit? I wanted it! I wanted it! I wanted it!" As Usopp's just eating the devil fruit, he asks, "But I thought..." So yeah. So I saw Odi. Usopp's clearly not gonna get captured. So Whitebeard, he does not have the tremor fruit. He has immense hockey, but he uses his hockey like he has the tremor fruit. So he's basically gonna be strong. It's rumored that he has hockey strong enough to destroy the world. Had like the tremor fruit. Usopp basically kind of uses his thing like through his weapons. Like he uses his tremor fruit through his weapons and like through his bow staff and stuff like that. So Usopp is going to be like already developed 2-year time skip. Usopp is just that he's not gonna have like all those other attacks. He's going to have pre 2-year time skip Usopp attacks. So he's not going to have any of those like Beetlejuice, fire, stuff like that kind of attacks. But Usopp's going to be real strong. He's going to have a bounty of 500 million because they call him God Usopp because of his strength. He's so like people are saying that he's a god because he's doing so. It looks like he's doing so many miracles. So Usopp's going to arrive to Marineford with Luffy, and Luffy, like the entire thing with Whitebeard goes on, but Usopp, like since Usopp has this devil fruit, this like immensely strong devil fruit, he talks to, even though like he's a little bit scared to say this, but he talks down to Whitebeard, and Whitebeard is just like, he's not enraged, but he's just surprised that this little this little brat, this little piss-nosed brat would talk to him like that. So he does the same thing, and he flips his bow staff in the air as he uses a little bit of hockey, and he slams it on the ground, which Luffy, like gets pushed back a little bit, but Usopp stands firm. Whitebeard is a little bit surprised by this. Usopp then creates like a tremor fruit ball. Like his tremor fruit energy or thing looks like this, blue with a little bit of like white electricity around it. As Usopp says, "Beware of the power of God Usopp, legendary warrior of the sea." As Usopp jumps in the air, and he drops back on the ground as his hands, like you see his backhand, not the one that's on the backstab, but his backhand, it touches the ground as the ground then starts to rumble and shake. Like the ground then starts to break up from its edges as everyone's shaking, and Usopp smashes his other hand into the ground that has his bow staff, which Usopp then says, "Miracle staff, working of a god," as he slaps his bow staff into like his sniper weapon, like into the ground, as the ground then starts to shake and rumble. Earthquake cracks then start to come in the ground, sending some people inside the water. As Usopp then runs, he says, "Go on, As Luffy then runs away, to save his brother. Usopp is shooting, like some places with his tremor fruit, like, like some units, some fleet things. As the Vice Admiral then comes at Luffy, the Momonga then comes at Luffy as it's about to chop down on Luffy's head, but Usopp then sends a bullet right at Momonga's chest, which just hits Momonga as Momonga's then stunned, as his body's then sent flying back from Usopp's attack. Usopp says, "Do you not fear a god?" As Garp just, "A god, you're no god. That's just your name, God Usopp. That's your alias. That's what you're known by." No. What's his name? Sakazuki Akainu says this. "That's just what you're known by, boy." As he's behind Usopp, he's about to throw a punch to Usopp. As Usopp turns around and he infuses his bow staff with tremor fruit power as he slaps Akainu right in the gut, which Akainu's body then kind of explodes everywhere as Usopp jumps back not to get hit by the attack. As he then comes back and says, "You're not using Haki, but you somehow damaged me. That's weird." "What?" "But you'll need to give more hits like that if you want to damage me." As Usopp then does like a lot of attacks as they go out firing at Akainu, but this isn't enough. Akainu then comes to punch Usopp as Usopp does one last attack as he shoots his he shoots his shooting star tremor bomb at Akainu as this then disrupts Akainu's attack and sends Akainu's attack flying right back at him. Usopp then jumps in the air and he says, "I found his weakness," as he shoots his bullet at Akainu's head, smashing it then hits Akainu in the head. Akainu says, "You're dead, brat." "What? He's not." As Whitebeard is since he's standing over the entire little fight, he just uses his bow staff as he slaps Akainu in the head, and he says to Usopp, "What's the point of calling yourself God, Usopp? What's the point of calling yourself God, Usopp, if you can't even defeat an admiral? You're no god, you just have a strong devil fruit ability." As Usopp then grins his teeth, knowing that that Whitebeard's telling the exact truth. And against Logia's, your devil fruit ability will barely do any damage. The only reason is because it's a strong devil fruit. As Usopp then says, how dare you doubt in God, Usopp? You're not a god." As Whitebeard's just breathing, and Usopp's just standing there, kind of in the dark. "If you were a god, you would have been a Yonko. You don't even have a bounty of 1 billion yet. So stop calling yourself a god, you annoying little brat." As Usopp looks back at Whitebeard and he says, "Okay, then I'll show you that I am God Usopp." As Usopp then puts both of his hands on the ground, and then the ground then starts to shake a little bit. Then it gets then it shakes harder and harder, and the entire Marineford base is literally swaying back and forth. And Usopp's yelling as he yells, "I am God Usopp!" As he splits Marineford into 3 sections. And he then jumps in the air, his staff in one hand, and then his other hand, and then his other hand, in the air. As it looks like as everybody, the Marines even, some pirates are like, "He's a god." As Usopp, as they're just saying, "He's doing miracles. He's a messenger sent from heaven. Bow down." As some of them, it's kind of like the Sabaody arc. some of the Marines even bow down to Usopp, as Usopp's just standing in the air, and he says, I take no pity on you who do not believe in me, but I will show you the power of the legendary god, Usopp. As Usopp shoots flame stars in the sky, and when they collide with the ground, they destroy parts of Marineford. Luffy yells and he says, Usopp, chill out, you're gonna kill me if you keep doing this! Oh, I'm sorry, Luffy. It's just that some legendary pirates can't believe what they see. Or maybe they're just too old. Whitebeard then gets a prick in his head as he says, Shut up! Boop, as Usopp then sticks his tongue out at Whitebeard. Oh, shut up, kid. Okay, after this entire Marineford battle is done, if we both survive, I'm gonna challenge you to a fight. And it's gonna be a fight to the death. Right here, right now. You hear me? As Usopp's like, okay, I know that yes, I might call myself a god, but didn't Roger, like, did, didn't the Pirate King have a move called God's Demise? And if he had a move called God's Demise, then, like, and if you were on terms and levels with him, so that means that you're supposed to be able to take out a god, right? As Whitebeard's just looking at Usopp like weirdly, like, what? It's just the name of an attack. This kid. As Aokiji says, you've been talking too much, kid. It's time for you to meet your place. As he then kicks Usopp in the arm, which Usopp then drops his bow as he's then sent flying back, and his arm then freezes. What the? And he then gets kicked in the chest by Aokiji, as Aokiji sticks his foot on Usopp for a little while, as he then jumps back, as Usopp's body's then starting to freeze. You call yourself a god? Huh. You're a cocky brat. You actually have these weaklings thinking that you're a god. Huh. Well, if you were a god, you would have been able to defeat me or Sakazuki. You can't even defeat one of us without the help of a Yonko, can you? God, Usopp. If you're God, if you're a god, then I must be the supreme king. As Usopp then gets enraged, as he says, no one calls theirself the supreme king, except for Luffy. As he then starts to rumble, his body's it's kind of like an explosion. As he then throws a punch, he then tremors the air. As this hits Aokiji, he then jumps over to where Aokiji is, as he keeps shooting bullets at Aokiji's head, like tremor bullets at Aokiji's head. And he grabs Aokiji in the throat as he keeps shattering Aokiji's neck, hitting him with these attacks. As Aokiji then starts to freeze Usopp's body, Usopp's not even noticing, because it's breaking off, but then it's coming back, and then it keeps breaking off. It's weird. As he keeps destroying Aokiji's head in his face, kind of like Blackbeard versus Whitebeard. As he then brings his staff up, as he slams, accidentally using some armament hockey in that he doesn't know because this is his first time, kind of. As he then slams Aokiji's the bow staff into Aokiji's neck, kind of. As Aokiji actually felt this one real bad. Like, he was feeling the other ones, but they're like just little scratches. But this one actually felt like someone's punching him full forward. Aokiji then coughs out blood, and Usopp then says, that's for calling yourself a supreme king. Admiral or not, you'll never be able to defeat God Usopp. Now, Usopp is only like Commodore level, Commodore Rear Admiral level, no, he's even weaker than that. He's probably like Captain level, like Commodore, like Captain/Commodore level. And Usopp then clears a path for Luffy as Luffy then keeps going. I am Miracle Bringer Usopp! God Usopp! This is where I'm going to ending off this one. If you like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends on your social media platforms. YouTube, we are out. Peace. I still see your shadows in my room. Can't take back the love that I gave you. It's to the point where I love and I hate you, and I cannot change you, so I must replace you. Easier said than done. I thought you were the one listening to my heart instead of my head. You found another one, but I am the better one. I won't let you forget me.